Now, about that passenger side steer tire, that was my fault. I'm not gonna hold you up. That was my fault. However, like I said in part one, it was a narrow street. We were leaving the shipper. I was coming one way. It was a truck coming the opposite way. And naturally, one of us had to get over to the right or we were going to hit each other. So I took the initiative, got over to the right, and the tire slid off the street. We almost got stuck. He got an attitude like, I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to get stuck again. Get us out. He yelling. I mean, he is yelling. I'm like, dude, calm down, man. You don't have to yell. I'm like, I'm sitting right here. These are my words. It's just like when me and my soon-to-be ex-wife would like be at odds, and she would be wanting to like yell. I'm like, I'm sitting right here. You don't have to yell. I'm like, dude, we like 2 feet away from each other. You don't have to yell, and I'm not your kid, so you don't have to yell at me. We're not gonna get. I'm gonna get us out, okay? My fault. But somebody had to get over to the right. You're like, well, you should have just kept going to let him get over to the right. If I would have kept going and he didn't get up to the right, I didn't get up to the right, and we would have hit each other, now whose fault is it? Now I got an accident on my record. So now and then I'm really in trouble because I'm in training with an accident. That don't look good at all. So I got over to the right. We almost got stuck, but we didn't. I got us out. He yelling and shit. Like, I'm like, dude, you don't have to yell. I'm calm as hell. I'm a calm type person. So sometimes when I get extreme mad, I can yell. I can get upset. But I'm like, dude, it ain't even that serious. It ain't that serious. It ain't like we are not about to get stuck. So I kept going straight. I got us out. It was like a little dirt. The tire slid off the street into like a little part of the dirt. I kept going straight. Got to like the railroad tracks where the concrete from the railroad tracks like easily come up. So I got us out. Kept going. He's like, man, we're gonna have to check these tires tonight, which we didn't check because we got to our I always be forgetting this shit. We got to our shutdown point where we was gonna shut down for the night real late. We got there like maybe 6 hours later after that happened. So it was dark, it was late. He's like, man, I ain't gonna check it. He was like, you know what, we don't even gotta do a pre. We ain't even doing no pre-trip. He was like, just do the macro 32. He was like, yeah, half the time we don't even have to do a post-trip, dude. We just do a pre-trip and that'll take care of it. So he did the post-trip like I did the pre-trip the next day. I didn't see it. So we continued on to this truck stop in Iowa where we did our 34-hour reset. So during the 34-hour reset, I wasn't even in the truck the whole time of the 34-hour reset. I was maybe in the truck a few hours. That was to probably go to sleep. Other than that, I was in the truck stop, like watching TV, studying, talking on the phone, on Facebook, on YouTube, just anything because I didn't want to be in the truck with him. So I was out of the truck that whole day. So when I finally get back to the truck, it was another incident that happened inside of that incident, which I will talk about too. But when we finally was getting ready to leave, when we left, he drove. He like, you know what? He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and drive. He was like, you ain't gotta drive, I'm gonna drive. I'm like, you know what, forget it. You can drive, go ahead. So I go to the back, I'm on the phone, I'm talking on the phone with a friend of mine. And like 5 minutes later, he's like, dude, he's like, can I chop it up with you for a minute when you get off the phone? I'm like, all right, bet. So I cut my phone call short, come to the front. He's like, yeah, he's like, I checked out the tire, and I'm have a story about coffee also. He was like, I checked out the tire, and there was a chunk took out the tire. He was like, that's an $800 tire. He's like, I just had them tires replaced not long ago, so I was trying not to charge you nothing, but I'm gonna have to charge you $250 for that tire. I'm like, I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay. And after I said okay, I just sat in the front seat for like 2 to 3 minutes, speechless. I didn't say nothing. I just sat there thinking, like, man, I gotta get off this. I gotta get off this damn truck. What am I gonna do? So I knew we was on our way to the Swift terminal in Kansas. So I got up, got from the front seat, went back to the back, and instead of calling my friend back, I texted her. So cause I didn't want to be talking and then he hear me, and then now we got a whole another confrontation, because I was trying to avoid confrontation. I wanted to be like, hell no, I'm not paying you shit. But I knew if I was like, hell no, I'm not paying you shit, he'd have probably stopped the truck, talking shit. He'd been trying to put me off the truck in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't want to go through that. So I just said, okay. And I went to the back of the truck and I was texting my girl. So I'm like, he think I'm gonna pay him $250 for a tire. I'm not giving him nothing. She's like, so that's not right. That don't sound right to me. I'm like, it's not right. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do between now and when we get to Kansas, because we was like 4 or 5 hours away from the Swift terminal in Kansas, maybe 7. But I'm like, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do between now and when we get to the Swift terminal in Kansas, because 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to get off this truck because I'm not giving him no money. So, like, yeah, I'm not giving him no money. So I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, because he like, then he got into this whole spiel about like, yeah, this was like a few days earlier, before that even happened, after the incident happened in Lima, Ohio. He like, yeah, he was like, I'm trying to figure out why I haven't charged you nothing yet, because it was a couple times where we took 10-minute breaks, and I may have had to use the bathroom, and I may have took a little longer than 10 minutes, and he got like an attitude talking about I was making us run late, and I'm gonna end up costing him money. He like, I'm trying to figure out why I haven't charged you nothing yet. He was like, this was like a few days before. He like, I had this one African student. He drove the wrong way for an entire hour while I was in the back sleep. I get up, I come back to the front, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You going the wrong way. And he was like, no, the GPS wrong. It's not right. It's not right. The GPS not right. That's what the African student was saying. So he like, no, it's right. He like, you going the wrong way. He was like, so I charged him $40 for fuel for going the wrong way for an hour. Then he told me about this other student who like, I charged him $250 because he actually left me at Flying J's. Was it either Flying J's or Petra, one of the two? He was like, he left me at the truck stop, and it took him an hour and a half to find his way back to pick me up. He was like, I charged him $250. I'm trying to figure out why I haven't charged you nothing yet. I'm just thinking like, I don't know. But at the same time, I'm like, I hope you don't think I'm paying him nothing. I'm not. I know I'm in training. I know I'm a student, and I know Swift expects. This is why you have training. They expect you to like make little mistakes in training, so you can get those mistakes out of the way in training, so you don't make those mistakes on the road. This is why you have training. You have training so you can learn. You're supposed to learn. So if you make a mistake, that's why you're in training. So I'm like, I don't know. So I told myself, the day he tells me, the day he tries to charge me anything is the day I'm getting off this truck. And like I said in part 1, my mistake was not getting off this truck when the incident happened in Lima, Ohio. But it was a few more incidents, like just minor stuff that happened, which was like he was nitpicking. It was a lot of stuff he would nitpick with me about that he had no business, he had no business nitpicking with me about, because it was my personal time to do whatever the hell I wanted to do in my personal time, which was stuff he would nitpick with me about. But subscribe, Turn on your notifications. Share. Please subscribe. Check out the other videos. Part 4 coming up.